Let's talk about custom tactics today because I always want to keep you guys updated with what I am rocking and what I think is the most fun mixed with the best, right? Because we're going to get into a couple of different formations today that I think are a good mix of like fun and meta. But then also I'm going to show you some pro tactics and show you what the meta, like the true meta is, if that's all you care about, right? So we're going to talk about a couple of different things today. The very first ones I'm going to show you, I just got 13-2 with this last weekend. I think I'm confident enough now to show you like, hey, these are pretty good. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description. They are the cheapest and safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for a 5% discount. And they're very fun, and I'll explain why here in a sec. But first of all, thank you for being here. Subscribe if you are new. We upload daily. And here we go with the 4-1-2-2 wide tactic. The code is still there under the default tactic. Now keep in mind this year, before we even get into all the stuff, right? This year more than ever, it's important to not literally copy paste someone's tactics. I've had almost no success with that because your team matters so much with your tactics this year that you're gonna have to mess around a ton to figure out exactly what works for you. You know, for example, Socrates playmaker build up there, you might have to have him on playmaker and attack or something like that. There's so many little things that can change a lot in this game, but we'll get into more of that in a sec. So we got the 4-1-2-2 wide, short passing for build up style. This helps with the Tiki-Taka type, and then balanced defensive approach at 60 depth. This I actually have higher usually. I'd say around like 85 depth, but I'd say for most of you, you might struggle with a little bit higher depth because it's more challenging a little bit. I'd run it at like 70. That's probably a good middle ground there, but the most important thing this year is the player role. So let's talk about that next. Without ball looks like this, and you can tell when we go to with ball, you can tell there are just so many passing options. Like look at this right here. It looks kind of like a clusterfuck a bit, but it's really not. Gvardiol and Trent Alexander-Arnold as the false backs, right? So you end up in possession with like a 2-3-3-2 almost. So I have St. Max as like an attacking focus here. If I go like this, you can see where the 2-3-3-2 kind of comes in, right? And some pros are starting to catch on to the fact that like false backs are really, really good this year because obviously you don't defend in this, right? You defend with your fullbacks back to where they are, but they just give themselves as a passing option in the middle of the field more often this year. And the middle of the field is not quite as clogged as last year's was, right? So false backs are becoming like more and more meta. I think you'll start to see those more often in custom tactics videos, but I've got it on this and I'll go through each individual one now. So deep lying playmaker for your CDM mixed with defend. If you want to go just straight up holding here, you can definitely do that. If you're struggling defensively, you're probably going to want to have him on holding, to be honest with you. I just personally like having him give me at least somewhat of an option on deep lying playmaker with the focus of defend. Socrates playmaker build up is one of the new focuses they actually added recently in the last patch. If you want to have him on build up, you can. You can have him on roaming if you want to, balance if you want to. You can tell that kind of all three look very similar here. I just have it on build up because I like him just going a little bit deeper, no pause at all. So I just prefer build up, I guess. Mahrez inside forward and St. Max inside forward. I have St. Max on attack because I have Benzema as false 9. So St. Max kind of overlaps Benzema a little bit easier that way. You don't have to have this. You can have him on balance there and he'll do the same thing. I just kind of like to have it so that it goes a little faster. He'll be a bit quicker to overlap. And then Cunha's on Poacher, which I think Poacher is like the best striker AI, along with false 9. So this formation is great if you want passing options. Okay, I recommend for your cam, probably run like an incisive pass plus player. My Socrates is outstanding there. If you just pick Jude Bellingham in that pick, you'll be able to run him here. Now, why is this not like the most meta ever? The main reason is if we go and look at pros custom tactics right now, the majority of pros, if you want to have the most meta custom tactics in the world, you're pretty much looking at 2 holding midfielders, which I don't personally want to run right now when I'm just trying to have fun in this game because gameplay, you know, not the best. I personally just don't like to run 2 holding mids. You can see the 4-4-1-1 here that this guy is running. The code there's on the bottom as well. There's this 4-2-3-1 here. You got 2 holding midfielders, 2 half wingers as well. I'd say 80% of the pros tactics have 2 holding midfielders in them, right? So that's really the most meta. This one's great if you want passing options and Tiki-Taka type football in a somewhat meta way. That's kind of what I would say there is like the perfect example. Also, you need roles to be correct, guys. You absolutely need roles to be correct. At least have a plus on them. Some big people out there pause, say that roles don't matter, you are smoking the papaya. I don't know what the fuck game you're playing. You are not playing the same game that I am. You definitely need roles. Now on to the next custom tactics that if you guys have been watching for a while, you know these already. But these ones, if you don't like the last ones, you're probably gonna like these ones a little bit more. They're a little bit more on the like less attacking side and still give you passing options. It's the 4-5-1 flat, and obviously keep in mind I have a full German team here. It's not going to be like a very good team with the roles in it, but 4-5-1 one flat, counter build-up style, high defensive approach. I have it at 63, which I don't think that's supposed to be there. I think it's supposed to be like 80. I'm pretty sure. Once again, that you can kind of mess with, but the rolls here, this is what it looks like without the ball, and then with the ball, looks like this. This one's more defensive heavy, right? You've got 4 defenders there just strictly to defend. The whole back 4 doesn't go forward. The strength of this formation, though, is that you can break the press really, really easily. These half wingers don't really get marked by the CPU very well. If you're playing a player who's very, very good and you're probably not as good as him, these tactics are going to help you more than the last ones will, because the half wingers, if you have them on either plus or plus plus, like they just don't get marked very well. And then of course you still have the 3 in front of them, the inside forward and the poachers, right? These ones I was using for most of the year so far. I just kind of got bored of them a little bit and then rocked with the last tactics we talked about. And for this one, I wouldn't change as much as the last one. The last one's a little more like play around with it. The base is there, but you kind of want to mess with it a little bit. This one, I'd kind of just say try it and you'll know pretty quickly if you're going to like it or not. So, okay, those are my 2 favorites I've used so far this year. Are there any other tips that I can give you guys? Guys, passing this year is more important than ever. Like literally, there is nothing more important to me than a passing play style on my player this year in positions that actually matter. Socrates has incisive pass plus, which is almost better than long ball plus. Super duper important. Mahrez has incisive pass and Tiki-Taka, which is great there. Benzema, as my false 9, has incisive pass base, which that works perfectly. Your false 9, your playmaker, definitely needs to have a passing play style of some kind, either long ball or incisive pass to me. And then Xabi Alonso, who I wouldn't even really recommend here, honestly, but he has long ball plus. That's why he's here. And then you've got Trent, who of course has incisive and long ball, and Gvardiol has long ball base and pinged pass, which is very nice there. So, okay, let me show you in game now why I love this formation so much. Okay, so I'm going to show you a clip now of like why I love the roles in this formation mainly and why they play so well together. So Xabi Alonso wins the ball back here. We kind of do a little bit of tiki-taka play a little bit, trying to make short passes work, and we end up giving the ball to Socrates here. Look where Socrates is, right? This is the playmaker build-up. Build-up, he'll be around this area here instead of like almost like a shadow striker would be up here, right? Maybe like 5 to 10 feet more forward. Because he has plus plus, he'll be everywhere trying to help build up. So Socrates has incisive pass plus. I'm going to go whoop. This pass here to St. Max is wide open. We're going to end up going there. And then look where Benzema's not up where the poacher would be, right? Benzema would be normally here, which maybe you would want that. That's kind of where Mateus Cunha would be and sort of should be. But the reason these roles work so well together is because you've got St. Max at this point here. You'd think it's like a counter attack, right? But Benzema being back here is so good because I can cut back. Benzema's now wide open for a passing option. I can pass first time to Cunha, which will be open sometimes. Sometimes Socrates will be open if I get this ball with Benzema here and then we stop. Socrates kind of got blocked by this guy, so I was a little unlucky there. But that false 9 just gave me this whole option and gave me this attack, right? We keep going. What do I do here? Benzema doing a little bit of skill move. We go short passes again. Socrates, boom, open. And I should have scored that with Cunha there. But see, at this point here, like look at, he's got 4 guys to pass to. You have an incisive pass plus player in any bit of opening with 4 people to pass to. I mean, you are in already such an incredible spot. And the thing is you've got a passing option with Gvardiol and Trent as the false backs, but they're actually not out of position for counterattacks either, which is great. Let's watch this play develop again, see what happens. So we get a ball to Mahrez there. Should have probably scored that. But then right here when he gets the ball back, see, look at that. They're not like that out for counterattacks. Trent is maybe a little out there of position, but Gvardiol is perfectly back still. You guys know with the catch-up speed, this is not out of position at all. He's going to catch up. So he'll drift in and offer you an option and then still be back for defense, which is why I think false backs are going to become very meta here soon. Let's keep watching this play develop here. He's going to try and go on counterattack, and we just kind of swallow with Virgil van Dijk. That's like Ruben Diaz there. I take that back. That was Ruben Diaz. And watch the build up again. Gvardiol to St. Max. He makes a shitty tackle. Terrible idea. But on the wing, Benzema, see how he's just going to be always open for that passing option. Great step overs. And boom. That goal only comes because Benzema's on false 9, right? If he's on poacher again here, he's going to be a little bit higher probably. So if you cut in with your left mid, Benzema will always be open as your false 9 here, which is exactly what makes false 9 plus a poacher so good. Because when I get the ball with Benzema here, I have an option to go back to Socrates. Maybe a little give and go action. Go back there, back there. I can go to Cunha after Socrates. I can go to Mahrez too if he makes us run in here. Just so many options, right? But we end up going with the step overs and then destroy the guy and finesse shot plus. So we end up scoring that way. This goal as well highlights like the passing options you have. So for example, anytime you can't go forward, there will permanently be an option for you. And that's why I love the 4-1-2-2 because watch Mahrez. I can't go forward here. I've got Xabi Alonso. I actually have Socrates here as well, but sometimes he'll be marked by this guy. I'm not sure why he's not right now. Oh, I know why. It's kickoff. It's kickoff glitch. So he's not going to be marked right right now. Sometimes he will be, but I'll have Xabi Alonso, right? I go back to Xabi Alonso, go to Socrates once again. If I didn't have an option forward at all, which I luckily do with Mateus Cunha here, if I did pass the ball backwards and I still had nobody to pass to with Xabi Alonso, Trent tucks in a little bit here and helps me. So it's just working a 1-2 with the strikers, really. Cunha to Benzema. Benzema with incisive pass goes back to Cunha and we score. So that's just a beautiful 1-2 with our two strikers. Another great strength of this formation is that if he makes any mistake with the center backs, you can take advantage of it literally immediately, right? Because watch what he does. Oops, this is already, it's over right here. Because you have two strikers and this Tiki-Taka type tactic system, it's over. This right here, it's GG's. Incisive pass, Benzema, right? I don't care what angle I'm at. This angle sucks, but he's gonna make this pass because he has incisive pass. Benzema to Cunha and finesse shot plus means this is going in like 9 times out of 10. So right there, just perfect two striker link up. And that's why I think you'll really enjoy the 4-1-2-1-2. Now, also, if you guys want some more pro custom tactics, here you go. The code down below, of course. This guy's rocking a 4-4-2 with 2 deep lying playmakers, 1 build up, 1 defend. Once again, very similar. You want those 2 guys staying back. The pro tactics kind of have all of those that way. The pros also have advanced forward. I can't get behind that one. I hate advanced forward, honestly. And here's a #1 player in the world's tactics, at least before the last event. He basically runs the same exact thing I showed you in my second custom tactics that I used to run, except he runs playmaker instead of half winger. He's got Bruno as a holding midfielder here, which is definitely a choice, but he's #1 player in the world, so you can't really hate on it. His build-up style is also short passing, which I think just encourages more AI movement this year. But yeah, as we know, custom tactics this year are not like they were last year. They're much more in-depth, nuanced, complicated. You're gonna need to mess around with stuff to figure out what you like and what is the best for you. I wanted to kind of give you guys a bunch of different tactics to try and figure something out for you, trying to spark some new ideas, hopefully, and hopefully you find something that you end up liking. Any questions you guys have, leave a comment down below, of course, too. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you. I love you all. See you soon. Peace.